down the street, a couple blocks away, where you walk in, you smell it, they're in there, they're cooking, it might be family owned, they're doing it. There may be two in the city, maybe three or four, no more than that. But then you go to McDonald's, and the shit is mayo coming out the side, it's missing the pickles you wanted, shit's thrown together, that type of shit. Where the other stuff is kind of, it's made with love. People give a fuck about the ingredients and what goes into it.
Yeah.
So, fast food hip hop. That's pretty much what it is. Everybody's eating it. It's everywhere. It's on every other block. If it's not Carl's Jr., it's McDonald's, so on and so forth. So, yeah, that's kind of the approach I try to take. We care about our ingredients here, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I always tell people, man, the hole in the wall place is always like better for quality. I don't know why. I love those hole in the wall like burger joints because I like the taste of bacteria that's on it sometimes. It adds like a little more flavor. So I mean, shit, man, it's the best thing for it.
The dude didn't wash his hands.
Yeah, man, like over there wiping the sweat off and just like, you know, wiping up your burrito or some shit.
Drops of sweat got in your burger.
Yeah, exactly, man. If it don't have blood, sweat, and tears in it, I don't want it.
Yeah. With that said, like, you know, I'm just curious how the average person doesn't like hype that up. Like, yo, if this place over here makes the best tacos, why are you in line at Taco Bell or whatever the fuck, Burger King, whatever? Like, why do you give that more light than you give this? I mean, and the simple thing is, again, it's everywhere, and everybody else does it, so it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
That's why I push so hard for people that fuck with me. So, like, I'm accessible, and it does bring down the value. Like, I talk to people, they come talk to me, they hit me up, they message me. I don't have a problem with that, but it does somewhat devalue what you're doing because you're not a celebrity. You're not trying to play the role as there's no barrier between you. So because they can reach you, they feel like you're on the. Some people feel like you're on the same level and you lose value. And I know a lot of rappers like to do that. They like to put that wall up. For me, I'm like, yo, these are real fucking people. That's who I'm rapping for. So I can act like a complete fucking douche all the time, but then I'm gonna be making music for douchebags. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I feel you, man, and I think that's the best thing about you keeping it to yourself because you also have those people that continue writing for you, and that's how you know they're really listening. You know, it's like the saying where you rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. You know.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's true.
Yep. You know, I do kind of want to like touch on the album a little more. You know, because you know, like you have some great features on there. I do want to talk about like some of my favorite songs on there, such as like No Contest, Watch and Learn, or even Fake Love. Because I don't know why I think I'm like a little sucker when it comes to like, you know, harmonizing sounds, especially with the Fake Love track. You know, shout out Space Honey for that. And
she killed it, right?
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay,
shout out
and
to Space Honey.
You know, and let alone you even getting on that track and just like speaking, you know, exactly what's going on in your that period of your life. It's very relatable. Anyone can really like relate to it. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone experienced it as well. So it's kind of hard not to like be like, okay, this guy's actually really good. He knows how to like deliver a message and such. You know, how do you and Space Honey get along together?
I was trying to make it sound as genuine as possible, and those are like real experiences. I mean, being in prison and seeing dudes that like, yo, this is their home. Like they fucking like it here. They understand the day to day. Like they're popular in there. They're cool, but it's like, yo, dude, like this ain't where it's at. Like, you're seeing like their girls don't come visit them, or you start seeing the things that I mentioned. I've experienced them myself too, and I'm like, wow, you know what? I don't want to make a jail song where it's like real generic. Sounds like, you know what? These are some real things that I've seen.
Yeah.
And just having, you know, homies try to fuck your girl when you're locked up. You know.
Oh shit.
That shit is a real thing, and I'm sure it's still happening now. So being able to speak on that and then have a blend, have Space Honey kind of even it out, so it's not just a sad, depressing jail song. She kind of brought a different energy to it, where it's almost like a eerie, ghostly kind of like I don't know. That was a dope song. Like that came together really dope. The other one is No Contest. So shout out to Acrobatic. We did a tour out here, and shout out to Owen, Do It For Music. We did a tour with him, a short tour, like 4 or 5 shows or something, San Diego, Southern California mainly, and linked up with him and knocked out the song. Shout out to the homie Max Carnage. That was another one. So, but a lot of people don't know, and I've said this, if you're watching on IG Live, you've heard me say this before, but basically, like, that album doesn't sound like it did in the beginning. Like, almost all those beats were redone. And some of them came out, I got my master back, I never heard that fucking beat. So I guess, some producers don't understand, like, when you write to a certain beat, it has a feeling.
Yeah.
And if you change the beat, it changes the feeling. So then if I go back and re-record these rhymes to the new beat you made, it loses that. And then now it's just raps on a beat. I could have just sent you a fucking acapella, that like mixtape shit. I'm not gonna tell you guys which ones, but there's some on there that I have the original versions, and they sound, to me, the emotion is there. A lot of the emotion that I try to capture was in those original recordings. People losing the files and having to redo this shit 4 or 5 times for one song. Bro, by the time you hit the 5th recording session, you're like, man, fuck this song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if it is yours and you wrote it and it means something to you, you're just going through the fucking motion. And you're like, but anyway, nobody knows what songs it is, and I'm grateful because they are some of, people's favorites. The one that people have responded to too is that song Out of Bounds, which is this ain't no West Coast love song. It's time to put in work, better get those gloves on. Nah, this ain't no West Coast love song. It's time to put in work, better get those gloves on. I basically wrote that because living here, seeing a lot of people move here and kind of take the street culture from here, graffiti, the hip hop culture, the gang culture, just all the street stuff, and then kind of repurpose, repackage, and resell it to us, to the world. So now there's people all over in different countries, different states, that think it's like authentic West Coast shit, and it's not. And it's not to say no one's welcome here, but at the same time, you kind of got to know where you are. So if you're moving to a certain corner of Hollywood, don't tell people you live in LA, because that's almost like living in, that's like the White House, District of Columbia. You know what I'm saying? It's the same, but not the same. So I wrote that song, and I wrote a line in there right after Nipsey passed, rest in peace. I said, you thought it was all Impalas. This killer's on a Huffy that'll spray. My coast don't play, just ask Puffy. Look around, this shit must be new to you. We kill our own heroes. Imagine what we do to you. So it's kind of a message to say, hey, look, be careful because you're out of bounds out here. Like, a lot of legendary rappers have been fucking gunned down out here. Yeah. But I didn't want to make a generic bullshit West Coast song where it's like, cruising down this street and smoking this weed and the weather this and the bitch is that. Like, yo, you've heard that. I'm going to give you this other side that says, yo, if you're going to come out here, be careful and understand this is this, and understand why we're like this. We're like this because people come here and try to take advantage of what we do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
absolutely. And that just goes to show, man. Like, you really can't. There really is no safe haven. You could be walking around, no matter what kind of past you've had. You could be like the most innocent person alive, but you may get crossed paths with someone that's really gonna fuck you over, and it just because you just happen to be there. And so. I don't know, because I remember when Nipsey passed, man, it fucked me up a little bit. Because I wasn't, like, the biggest Nipsey fan, like, oh, Nipsey only, but it was like, I listened to his interviews before I listened to his music. And then because of those interviews, I checked out his music, and then now they sat heavier on me for, like, years. And then when he passed away, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, he dropped, like, one of the most classic albums.
The dude was fucking phenomenal as an artist, as a songwriter, as an artist, and as a human being. You know what I'm saying? So that shit, it hurt. Same here. I wasn't an enormous Nipsey fan. I'm not gonna front. I don't got a fucking tattoo anywhere, but dude is dope. He's dope as a person and as an MC, as a rapper. So losing him, that shit kind of hurt. But writing what I wrote, it wasn't any form of disrespect. I'm basically saying, like, yo, out here, it it happens to everybody. Good guys, bad guys, everybody fucking loses. So, you know, just be careful when you try to take something from us or you try to do something here. So it's one of those things I had to say. There's a lot of stuff on there that I'm glad I got to say, you know? And that was one of the things.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure everyone that listens to the lyrics and they catch that line, they're not gonna see it as disrespect at all, unless like they're just their maturity isn't that high. But it sits perfectly, personally, because it's you just gotta understand that that's just the reality of the world. No matter like just because you're not from this area does not mean that we're not gonna get touch you. If you have to, you will.
And at the same time, like it's dope having people come from other places here and blending and bringing other flavors here. Like, honestly, my influence is probably more East Coast from what I've heard. Music-wise, the Ice Cubes, and there's a lot of people that have influenced me that are from the West Coast. But I've been told that it's more East.